for another Dead by Daylight review. Yes, go. I'm just waiting on YouTube to resync. There we go. We are good. First chapter concept, we are going to be looking at Mirror of Darkness. Didn't I already look at? No, maybe I guess I didn't. Have I looked at this? Yes. Yes, I have looked at this. Yeah. This is the post that just has a bunch of old school perks, concepts, and all of that in a conglomeration into one post. It isn't finished yet because now there's trivia and things like that posting up, so I'm actually not going to review this particular thing. That's one that I don't have to go over. All of these are from the past. I did the walkie-talkies yesterday. This Ice Queen concept is from last year. Killer concept, Killer Hook. DLC, Songs of Darkness, Recording Studio. Tear radius 32 meters, tall killer, speed 3.6 meters per second. I'm hoping that's a typo and you mean 4.6 meters per second. I'm hoping, because 3.6 meters per second being 0.4 slower than survivors is going to be significant. This has to be a hell of a killer. Skill. Song of Barkers. Christian Amos wanted to be the best singer ever. This would... Brother, I want to know what the skill does. The killer hook can create a huge sound wave, causing all survivors within 40 meters to scream, revealing their position. 40 meters. I don't think you're aware of how far 40 meters is. 2. When you say revealing their position, I'm going to assume only the duration of the scream, sort of like how the doctor does. You go, huh, or when somebody gets caught in like a trapper's trap. You kind of get that, hey, they're stuck in a trap there, and then it goes away. Well, the old trapper's traps. Or like a doctor scream. You get the scream of where they are, and then it fades out and disappears. Very quick. After using Killer Hook, it increases its maximum speed to 175% for 15 seconds. And 75? So 150% is like 6.9 meters per second. 25% would be whatever half of 2.3 is added to that. So that would be... I say half of 2.6. That's 1.3. So 6.9 plus 1.3 is what, like 8.2 or something like that? I don't know. Brain hurt, tired. Somewhere around like 8 meters per second is how fast this particular killer is going to be moving for 15 seconds. If you do the 8 times 15, oh, it's like 135 meters that you can travel in that general time. So you can traverse essentially any map in the game. The ability cools down after 60 seconds. And that's it. You start off slow as molasses, and in 15 seconds, you're able to essentially get to wherever you want on the map. But you only have 15 seconds to down a particular survivor, or they're going to escape you. So if you do mean the 3.6 meters per second, you might want to decrease this cooldown, or you're never really going to get much progress there. If you do mean it to be 4.6 meters per second and you're increasing the speed at the end of that, then you definitely want to rework all of this. Because having this extremely fast movement speed to essentially get a free hit on a survivor is what this comes down to. A free hit on a survivor, and then you initiate chase to get the second hit. Sort of kind of plays out like Legion, minus the super high stun time. But it's also kind of BS. But it's also weak. Extremely weak. Because survivors are just going to gen rush the absolute crap out of you because they don't have any type of other power. I mean, as soon as you use your ability, they know one survivor is going to end up getting clapped. But if you're only getting, you know, a down per 60 seconds, you're going to be going real slow. Very, very slow killer. And it's essentially a mouse one killer with boost of speed every once in a while. Let's see. Perk wise, metallic note. Sound waves bounce off generators, creating a chain reaction. When you damage a generator, the 3 nearest generators in repair explode. For how much? Or do they just explode and lose no progress and no regression, anything like that? They just explode. If there is a survivor working on one of them, his ore will be revealed for 15 seconds. Perk renews after 80 seconds. The problem comes in your wording. When you damage a generator, the 3 nearest generators in repair explode. So the 3 closest generators to you that are currently being repaired are going to explode. So anytime that you damage a generator, any survivors that are working on generators are going to have their ore revealed for 15 seconds. So essentially this is 15 seconds of ore reveal every 80 seconds. I wanted to ask you when I will post a chapter idea. Will you read The Lore of the Killer? Yeah. I can do that. It's kind of long, so when you get bored, I won't force you to read the rest, but I'm kind of proud of the result, so I would like to hear your opinion about it. Do you want me to just read it, or do you want me to give a review over it to check like its accuracy or anything like that, or just to read it and telling your opinion on it? I have no problem with reading and telling you my opinion over it, but you gotta let me know if I need to do or check it for accuracy or anything like that, because that's gonna require me to be prepared to open up Google and get all the researches and things like that. A review would be nice. Gotcha. Yeah, as long as you tell me beforehand and I'm not like midway, I'm fine with it. because it would be a novel otherwise. Oh my. Oh, I had to shorten it because it'd be a novel otherwise. You know. Yeah, I have no problem going over the lore and everything like that. But I would like you to review the result of the lore. Fair enough. Yeah, I can do that for you. No problem. It's the least I can do. You stop by quite a lot of streams. So call it me showing my appreciation. Absolutely, positively, no problemos. I will do it. So metallic note, I mean, you definitely just run barbecue and chili and bitter murmur and all the other aura revealing perks. It'll do the same thing. You shouldn't have to come up with another perk that's just kind of roundabouts out there to cover the same thing anything else is doing. Heck yeah, brother. Painful beats. Your songs give you strength with every soul knocked down. When you knock down a survivor, all others within 40 meters get the effect exposed for 20 seconds. Perk cooldown is 80 seconds. Why would you knocking down a survivor expose all other survivors within 40 meters? It's not even tailored to tear radius or anything like that. And it's only an exposed status effect for 20 seconds. By the time you pick this survivor up, hook them, and then get to another survivor, the exposed status effect is going to be gone. Why not just run Devour of Hope, Infectious Fright, or make your choice? With any type of tear radius extending perks or anything like that, with make your choice. And you can get the same effect that you're getting here, but it'll also make a lot more sense. Hex. Musical terror. The entity from your songs has lost control. As soon as the survivor jumps through the window, it will be blocked. They already have Bamboozled and the Trickster's perk and or add-on and all kinds of other things. When a survivor throws a pallet at you, it's instantly destroyed. The effect lasts until the hex is destroyed. Again, you just have these knocking one and one shotting another. That no, right? Imagine a nurse. That would be amazing on a nurse. It's bink and then bink. Kind of hilarious though. Heck, with all of these perks, you would kind of be giving Bubba some love too. Please do not look that up, Cortana, you weirdo. All of these perks are just generic cover everything perks. They're not really a huge amount of thought hasn't been put into them. Oh, if you throw a pallet, it's just gonna go boom. You're wasting pallets until the hex is destroyed. Oh, and by the way, for two methods of escaping a chase, primary, windows and pallets, you can't use them anymore. Oh no, that sucks for you. Not Papa Bubba. I was so happy. I heard somebody talk about a camping Bubba in a comment on a Dead by Daylight video that I seen, and he used the Bubba or camping Bubba as an example, and I was so proud. I don't even remember what they were talking about, but he was like something 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 camping Bubba, and I was like, oh, I'm so proud. I felt like a proud dad, even though he's never seen any of my content. I was just like, I'm not the only one. I've already seen the prestige incentive. I've said my 2 cents there. The flare gun, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is the flare gun from the Friday the 13th game. You can't have a good discussion without mentioning Camping Bubba. I know, right? You always gotta throw that Bubba in there. You can't make a good perk without throwing Bubba's name out there once. With this perk, will we be empowering the Camping Bubba? Yes, then let's probably not implement this. If I ever make a check sheet, you best believe Bubba's name's gonna be popped there. This is the flare gun from the Friday the 13th game. This isn't anything original. You shoot Jason in the face with it, he gets stunned by it. That's exactly what this is. This is another non original idea. And people are talking about it. I'm not going to go into huge detail, but yeah, that's what that is. Long story short, he brought something from Friday the 13th over to a game that really can't implement it. People are complaining about it. Perk ideas, add-ons, and suggestions. Perks, items, and add-on suggestions. Well, since it's the suggestions, I'm surprised Mandy Talk didn't clap your post and move it over to the suggestions tags. I need some perks, item, powers, add-ons to make the game better. Tell me what perk would you like to be released, etc., etc. Survivors, make chases even longer without getting down. There's people that can loot killers the entire 5 gen cycle. No issues. As long as you know how to run the loops efficiently and know where to post yourself up, running loops on killers ain't too terribly hard. It's all about whoever can play the better mind games. That's the whole cat and mouse game. So no, chases don't need to last any longer. You need to increase your skills. A perk or item to deal with the cannibal's chainsaw and Oni's demon dash. It's called the endurance status effect. And or objects in the world. And or efficient chases, loops, etc., etc. A perk or item to outrun the clown and the wraith. The clown's not anything faster than anybody else. How about fake and don't run into obvious areas where the clown's bottles can hit you? Keep yourself in an area where it's hard for him to get bottles on you. Wraith, you can run flashbang to light burn him, stun him, and immediately take him out of stealth. Use your eyes, run spine chill, or any of the other perks or items that are available to get around the Wraith. When he comes out of stealth, he gets a speed boost, but that speed boost is useless if you hop a window. A perk or limited item to prevent generator regression a lot of times. It's called taking out ruin or just touching a generator as you go by it. Hex ruin counter perk. I literally just said that. Take out ruin. There you go. It's done. You have perks like Dwight's perks and all kinds of other gen speed up doing perks. Ruin's not that strong. It's really not. As long as you are working on a generator, Ruin has no effect on you. Perks that can grant extra blood points for boldness category. Isn't that what No Mither does, or is it altruism, or did they remove the blood points from that? I don't know. There's perks that grant extra blood points in every category, and they have add-ons that do that. So I don't know why you're on that. Boons that have other perks on them. Behavior's taking care of that one already. A perk that can counter enduring and using pallets quicker. There's smash hit for that, where you can throw it down and then get a speed boost. Countering enduring, use a flashlight. If they're breaking pellets fast, get that double flashlight blind and then go about your business. There's also know your loops, that when you can drop pallets, things like that. Perk that can save teammates quickly without getting yourself chainsawed or tombstoned. Desperate measures. For every injured or dying teammate, you get a 15% increase in healing and unhooking speed. Borrowed time. Have the person that gets unhooked take that endurance hit for you, and then you can escape, and they can escape too. Rather than self care's medkit efficiency, any other perks that this can affect other items like toolbox, maps, and keys. I'm assuming you're talking about Circle of Healing, and you want one that affects everything, like essentially streetwise, but in a boon. Don't see people actually using that often, but good luck trying to make that a thing. Perk makes hook sabos fun and make the sacrifice progress slower to buy more time. Kinship makes the sacrifice slower to buy more time. Perk hook Perk that makes hook sabos fun. I mean, they have saboteur, which you can make that as fun as you want. I don't want anything blocking my screen when I'm trying to sabotage a hook when a killer's coming at me. Killer. Screw camping. Camping is a viable strategy that a killer has. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be a thing. What about a hook perk that makes us not worry about survivor saves? It's called Devour Hope. You hook, you walk away, and you get a token from it. Already exists. Stackable perk that makes survivors heal super slow after they were hit. You got a whole bunch of effects and perks and things like that that you can put on. Mangle, Thatanophobia, etc., etc. already exist. Instead of using a Bubba Chainsaw or Oni Dash for easy kills, use a perk to hit both at one hit without using those boring OP killers. Noad exists already. You can. It may sound weird, but my bird woke up. He was sleeping in the shelf. I have to transport him to the kitchen now. BRB. Fair enough. Fair enough. um, a perk that can notify the killer that a survivor is working on an exit gate and makes exit gate openings even more slower. Well, the trickster perk can make opening gates 30 seconds or up to 30 seconds longer. So that exists. Once the exit gates are open, you have Blood Warden, and anything that affects action speed that a killer has can make opening exit gates take even longer. So you have perks for that. Plus, if it's at the end of the game, obviously the survivor is going to be running towards exit gates. The only thing you're really looking for is a cleanup perk to where there's one survivor left and you have the which gate is he going to type situation. You don't need cleanup perks due to the new ranking system. You don't need to get all 4 kills. You're fine with 3 and them escaping. Heck, at low ranks, you can get 1 kill or 2 kill and everything be fine. Welcome back. You ain't missed much. Perk that can make survivors give a good pain on failed skill checks. What? Perk that can make survivors give a good pain on failed skill checks. Like reduces 3 times progression than normal on failed skill checks. um, I mean, they have ruin to where you don't really have to worry about it, and if you force them out, the gen regresses. You have perks like pop, eruption, all the other gen, patrolling perks, discordance, barbecue and chili, or aura reading, the artists perks, like all kinds of other different perks. And survivors have technicians that prevents the notification, but you take more progression damage. So that's already a balanced thing already in the game. A perk that can make the killer move faster to the survivors easily. Already exists. I never remember the name of it. I think it's like play with your food or something like that. It's like a spider, I think is its symbol. No, or is it a hand? I don't remember. There's lots of perks. NOAD's another one too that'll combine 2 of the things you said together. There's a lot of perks that increase speed, and if you're talking about lunge and hitting and stuff, you have the unrelenting, I think is what it's called, and you also have the newly buffed coup de grace. Perk that can reduce only gen repairs and gate opening speeds. Please. Again, any perk that reduces action speeds or anything like that affects both. You also have corrupt intervention, and then you have the trickster's exit gate opening perk again, which I'm listing, that will delay. You have Ghostface's perk that'll block gens for 16 seconds on pickup of a survivor, if they're not already working on the generator. Eruption, every other kind of perk that you can stack to get these effects. If you're really worried about exit gates, run Trapper and just put a trap in front of the exit gates. You'll know exactly what exit gate they're at because the trap will go off. Or they'll step in it. One of the two. There you go. There's your exit gate. Just run a killer that has the monitoring abilities for that. Or Oni or something like that. Or Bubba with the chainsaw, who you said not to use their stuff. Or Legion, or somebody who has mobility. Nurse on particular maps is good. Especially with the add-ons for 3 blinks. Woo-wee! Stackable perk that can increase stun recovery faster and better than enduring. I mean, that's generally specifically different killers that do that. For example, Legion. He just vaults over them bitches, and he has an add-on that breaks that shit. I think it's Spirit that has the perk and all of that that breaks pallets when they are thrown down on her. Etc., etc. Spear is a plague. I don't know. One of the killers has a perk that when they drop a pallet on them, it breaks them. It has an activation, all of that are tied to it, but it exists. Temporary attack speed buff for killers. They have two that I can think of off the top of my head. The Unrelenting, which reduces cooldown, and then is it Mad Grit? That when you pick them up, you have no cooldown on attacks. So you can just attack and attack and attack and attack and attack and attack, and it don't stop till the survivor drops. There's other add-ons and other methods of increasing attack speed buffs for killers as well, depending on which killer it is. um, Other items, decoy. Talked about that recently. Okay, all of these are different items from different games. Okay, I'm not gonna go over every one of these. They're literally just items from different games that are like Dead by Daylight. Some of these are from Prop Night. Some of these are from a game where one guy runs around as a killer with a pair of scissors, while the other ones try to pray these orbs and open up a portal to destroy the killer. I don't remember the name of the game, but you play as a girl with scissors who tries to go around killing the survivors. The players from Friday the 13th, I mean, like all of that. All of those are just perks from different games that are like similar. The cat and mouse aspect of Dead by Daylight. Not going into detail. You pause the video and read those if you would like, but I already know what all of those do. Again, taking people's ideas. There's two of them. I don't know if it's the same guy or if it's two different people, but one of these, Ryan the NCR, keep every single post that I see of his, he's always taking ideas from other people's works and not crediting anything. Survivor anti-camp perk updated. Last chance again. After being on the hook for 110 seconds. Both states together last 120 seconds if you don't unhook yourself and don't miss skill checks. The hook breaks, sending you free, and you get endurance for 9 seconds. You are broken for the rest of the trial, and the killer can mori you. How does this sound? So, there are direct counters for this particular scenario. And I'm going to explain to you in semi detail the problem you're going to have. New people to the game, or low level people, love to pull you off the hook and trade when you are in danger. This perk having extremely high activation time, because after 60 seconds pass, or you go into the second phase of your particular hook, you should be able to activate this perk at any time. I don't know why you're waiting for 110 seconds to where you're about to die when the killer's probably going to be back around you just to make sure nobody goes, or they're going to be initially leaving. And if it comes on to a particular survivor and that survivor's running that survivor, or the player's running that survivor, the killer's going to know at the last couple of seconds just to stay around and then clap them when they jump off that hook. Well, not as soon as they jump off, but you know what I mean. After the endurance wears off, clap them and then mori them to get them out of the match. You should really rewrite this instead of saying after so and so happens, like on the second hook or the second phase of the hook, you click a button and this activates. Again, I still have the problem with this just being deliverance with a endurance effect added onto it. Because that's all this is deliverance that you can get worried from and all of that. Why do all of this when I can just do the activation for deliverance? And then when the time comes, I can just jump off the hook and then get the broken status effect for a minimum amount of time instead of the rest of the match, and then you can get clapped. If you run this perk and deliverance together, you're literally just going to have two instances of deliverance. That's it. One instance of deliverance is going to just get you clapped immediately when you jump down, and then this one's going to activate. And you're going to get clapped again, but after 9 seconds when your endurance effect wears off. So, again, I'd recommend going through and instead of making a deliverance 2, you pull this perk apart and reincorporate it in a unique way with an activation, like I stated last time, with a particular activation to get a specific effect and cut the fat from it to where, it has a definite activation that you can rely on and not just, a survivor pulls you off the hook and then you go down again and now your perk's deactivated and does nothing for you. Because you're not going to be able to really run this with new survivors all the way up till about the end of or mid to end of gold. They love to just trade and go down and take your place. I mean, they still do it in gold, but not as often towards the end. I admire your perseverance and trying to make this perk a thing. But again, the way it's implemented, no, it's just deliverance too. And if anybody would, I ain't seen Critty in a while, to be honest with you. But I did say, don't worry about coming to my particular streams. I would label them accordingly if it's anything special. But if anybody knows this guy personally, show him deliverance. All you gotta do is just copy and paste it just like this. So he can see that there's a perk that after performing a safe hook rescue on another survivor, deliverance activates. That there's a trigger. And please highlight that deliverance already is a perk and it has a trigger on it. Shows that it guarantees unhook 100% of the time. It doesn't rely on states or anything like that. And then you only get the broken status effect for a short amount of time, not an infinite amount of time after it happens. And then kind of bring to his attention, why would I ever run his perk when I can run deliverance? And ask him very nicely to just pull apart, rework his word or perk, and incorporate it in a different and unique way that doesn't collide with any other existing perks in the game. Because he's putting a lot of effort into it, and I hate to see, effort being wasted on something, you know, trying to reincorporate it to make it better, reincorporate it, make it better, reincorporate it, make it better. Sometimes the best thing to do is to take it apart, look at it, change it up, and make it something different. In any type of perk that you're trying to make sure you've checked the Dead by Daylight perk website, the fandom website, or anything like that, and you just press Control F and then search keywords like unhooks. Since your perk relies on unhooks, Control F to find the word like that, like how I found deliverance. Click the button, bang, and have everything pull up like that. I just pulled that up, so I gotta move chat out of the way. And just search around to see like terms and like perks and try to tailor your perk to where it's not colliding with any other perks or not similar to the other perks. And you can make a banger out of this. He's only got 6 posts, but he's doing so well. So well. Much better than a lot of people's works that I actually look at. And he's just not there on that particular concept. Then he drops the ball and says level up perks. Oh no. This no. No. This is literally just one master perk that combines a lot of other perks together. I'm gonna save myself and everybody else time of looking through that. It's just a bunch of like perk ideas and abilities that you get that after you do specific actions, you unlock other stages, which unlocks more perk wise. So it's essentially like a tier system for perks. Each token unlocks more and more abilities that you can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Unhooking yourself, blinding and stunning the killer, repairing generators, unhooking survivor, taking a protection hit, destroying a totem too. And the sad thing about it is, if you get max stages, all you get is blood points. So after you do all of the actions required to activate this perk, you then activate 100% extra, which kind of makes that not very good. Every time I take deliverance, I get hooked first. Terrible perk. uh, ain't that the truth, though? Ain't that the truth? Every time I take second wind, I run into the same problem. I get hooked first. Or I spawn right in front of killer and I'm just like, bruh. You got luck like I do. To be fair, I ain't played the game in a while. It's been a while. They've been doing some funky stuff, so I've been off the game. I'm not participating in PTB or any of the other new perks or anything like that. I'm not providing any feedback or anything like that. I am putting all of my eggs into one basket. This patch had better at least be par. At least be a normal update, not change anything. And then this next killer that they come out with had better be a banger. If it's mediocre and crappy, not unique or anything like that, that's going to be the nail in the coffin for me. I probably won't ever play the game anymore. I will get my memory back on my computer by deleting it. And I will just continue to do creation reviews until the game updates to where I can't keep up with it. And that'll be the end of that. I played one game of DBD since I started internship. Bill Flop was MVP, by the way. I'll tell you one perk that I'm gonna keep harping about, because I mean they updated the wiggle system, but they never gave Slippery Meat any love or power struggle. Yeah, you made it to where when they jump down, you get more, wiggle progress and all of this other stuff. And you made it to where the wiggle actually is more powerful. But Slippery Meat is completely goddamn useless. You get a 4% chance 3 times to get off of the hook. And if you run the add-on for the purple luck add-on, it gives you an additional 3%. So you have 3 chances at 7% luck or chance to get off of a hook. And that's real sad for Slippery Meat. It wouldn't be bad if it was like, a 25% chance on your regular unhook, attempts. A 1 in 4 chance, but you only get 2 attempts. Because that's essentially, it's not 50%, but it's 2 chances at 25%. So you would have around 25. I don't know, somewhere around a 35% chance of getting off the hook. Somewhere between 35 and 40. Probably like 37.5, like probably right dead center. But somewhere between there, chance of actually getting off of the hook. And having about a 33% chance, or if you want to be technical about it, a 2 roll on 25%. It's not too terrible. Yeah, if you take Ace's perk, I think it increases it to like what, 9% or something like that. Mm. Took Ace's luck perk and Slippery Meat, and they indeed escape, like with deliverance many times. Oh yeah, I've had Slippery Meat proc like 5 games in a row and let me get off the hook. But I've also went on a dry spell when I stopped using it. Finally, I played about 20 games, and that's between 2 days because I played with friends. We played 10 one day and 10 another day, and I didn't get any Slippery Meat activations in 20 games, and I was like, "Fuck this perk." And I did, the hyper luck builds and things like that. Sometimes it'll get you every time. Sometimes, that 9% chance never procs. I mean, it is RNG at the end of the day. And I'm like, man, I could literally just run deliverance and try to go for that particular activation. And at least if I have terrible luck, I know that, my luck's ran out as soon as it happens. As opposed to getting hooked and then being like, oh, well, I'm going to try to escape now. And Slippery Meat, for whatever reason, still takes progression away from you. That's what kills me about Slippery Meat. Yes, you get extra attempts to get off the hook, but it still takes your progression away. Give me the extra hook escape attempts, but don't fuck with the amount of time that I have left. It's like, please. That would be a welcome change, if not even a big change. Just make it to where when I try to use my Slippery Meat, my timer doesn't go down. My progression doesn't increase or decrease on my Slippery Meat, attempts. Stop reducing my progression. Because if the perk fails, now I have less time to get off the hook. And I'm potentially screwing over the team. It kills me. I don't know why they implemented that way and why they haven't changed it. You have so many other OP perks to get off hooks. Fix slippery meat, please. Power struggle is just a personal thing because when killers are walking right by pallets, unless they're walking through it, you can't stun them with them. That's just a power struggle thing that ticks me off, to where the killer's hips touching it, but you can't grab the pallet because they're not going through it. That's a personal, a pet peeve thing. But no, slippery meat, fix just the small things about it, man. Yeah, you can only pray to the RNG god. Because that's all I ask, is just give slippery meat some love. It makes me a sad boy to know that that perk is going to go the rest of its time in Dead by Daylight being absolutely positively useless. So, went over that comment, went over Dead by Daylight creation reviews for the day. I even played Friday Night Funkin' in the morning, so I covered everything that I could possibly do for today, yesterday. I'm taking the rest of the day off. You will not hear from me for the rest of the day. I promise. I'm gonna be asleep probably till about midnight or something crazy, because I'll probably be asleep till about 8 p.m. I have an alarm set for 8 p.m. every day, just in case. So I'll at least be asleep till like 8 p.m. ish. Hopefully, I get up a little bit earlier, like 4 or 5. But, regardless, I'm about ready to probably go watch YouTube. But anyway, as always, supplement your lifestyle, stay cool, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.